Hi all and welcome back to Tech Anorak. So I've got for you today the unboxing and first impressions of the Motorola Edge 20 Lite. So it's a 6.7 inch display, it's full HD plus, so 1080 by 2400 pixels. It's got 108 megapixel camera, it can do 4K 30 on the back, 1080p on the front facing cam at the highest. So it's got the MediaTek Dimensity 720 5G. It's a 7 nanometer chip, and it's got this particular model. I think they all come with 8 gig of RAM and 128 gig of storage. And out of the three Motorola Edge devices that have been launched, the Edge 20s, this has got the biggest battery. It's the 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Okay, so the cameras, it's got the main lens is, as I said, 108 megapixel wide angle lens. It's got an 8 megapixel wide angle camera, ultra wide, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. It can do, as I said, 4K 30 on the back, 1080p 30 60 120 frames per second with gyro EIS. And then the selfie camera is a 32 megapixel camera that can do 1080p at 30 frames per second at the most. It's got mono speakers, as a lot of Motorola's do. I think all the Edge Motorola's do. And it's got a side-mounted fingerprint reader. And it's fast charge, 30-watt fast charge. So let's get this guy open. Let's see what we think. Okay, it's a standard Motorola blue box that we're used to on the channel. Okay, so I have... Just a disclaimer, I've had this for about 10 days, guys, so I'll do the unboxing experience for you. But, I've been using this, and we can go over that. Okay, so I've got I think it's the titanium colour, is it? Sorry, electric graphite. So it comes in 3 different colours, but this one's quite nice, understated. You get the usual TPU case that you get with Moto phones in the box. Just books and stuff in there, not bothered about that. Here's your 30 watt fast charging brick. It's nice that's included, like all the big manufacturers, Samsung, Apple, Xiaomi, they don't do that anymore. Xiaomi, you have to ask for it. It's USB-C to USB-C, which can be an issue for some people. I still like to have USB-A to USB-C because if you want to connect this to, a laptop or a Mac or PC, whatever, you're not going to be able to unless that's got a USB-C input. So you'd have to buy a different cable to, USB-C to USB-A to do that. But not the worst thing in the world. At least you get one in the box. There's just your SIM eject tool. Okay, so let's look at the build quality of this. We'll get some boxes out of the way, in fact. Okay, so onto build quality. So, yeah, it's plastic unibody, as a lot of Motorola's and cheaper Samsung phones, but it feels nice. It's not a horrible plastic. This is matte. It's not showing any smudges at all, and yeah, for the price point, I'm really happy with that. It's a very light phone, which is a bit unusual when it's 6.7 inch display, really big panel, but not a lot of weight on this. Which some people like, some people don't like. But if you pair this with a heavy case, you're still going to have a lighter phone, which it doesn't bother me, to be honest. So you've got the central cutout for the selfie camera there. I prefer it in the corners, or one that pops up or not on the screen at all. But a lot of companies are coming out with that. The new Pixels have got that. So they're just following current trends, so that's fine. And let's have a look at your ports here. So you've got a microphone here, earpiece. Doesn't double as a speaker, which is a bit of a disappointment. Volume up and down, lock button stroke, fingerprint scanner, mono speaker, another microphone, USB-C port, headphone jack. So those who love the headphone jack, it's on deck here. And let's have a look at these cameras again. So you've got your 108 megapixel. That's your 2 megapixel depth sensor and 8 megapixel ultra wide. So yeah, like I said, guys, although I did an unboxing, I've been using this for the last 10 days and it's really good. No hiccups at all. So the performance is really good. I am impressed with these MediaTek chips that they're coming out with now. My OnePlus Nord 2's got the Dimensity 1200, and that is a killer chip. It's really good. It's not on par with the 888, but it brings the cost down of your device, so I don't mind. So this 725G chip in here, it's better than a lot of the lower range Snapdragons or mid-range Snapdragons. So MediaTek used to be like, oh, MediaTek, but the good chips now, guys, I can definitely attest to that. Where you're going to be let down here, we'll go into the cameras later on. The 108 megapixel sensor, that sounds great, but if you've not got the chip to power that, it does really need that 1200 Dimensity chip or a higher Snapdragon, because the processing, the algorithms that Motorola are going to use, they're not going to be on par with higher end phones. So then your image quality of the photos does suffer a little bit. But again, for the price point, under £300 in the UK, it's a lot of phone for the money. Okay, so let's do a screen and audio test. So as I said, it's a mono speaker, but it's a nice big 6.7 inch AMOLED panel. So that makes up for, a lot of shortcomings. It'd be really nice, as I say, if Moto could start going back to the stereo speakers of old, because even on the Moto G8 Power that I've tested, that was amazing. And, even the Edge 20 Pro, the flagship one, that doesn't have stereo speakers. So that's my only criticism, I think, of the multimedia experience. Motorola really needs to bring that back. But yeah, let's test this out. So yeah, hopefully that came across in the audio that you're going to hear on the video. But it doesn't sound tinny. It's not the worst speaker I've heard in the world, but you need some audio coming out of here, for it to be immersive. So points lost for that, really. But the screen, if you noticed, is beautiful. As I say, I don't like the hole punch cut out there. I prefer it in the corner if you're going to have a hole punch. But, that isn't a deal breaker. You'll probably not even notice it after a while. The screen, I would say it's definitely on par with my OnePlus Nord 2. That's, again, another full HD AMOLED panel, or my Google Pixel 4a I owned. Definitely going to be better than an iPhone 11. I owned one of those as well, and they're not even full HD. They're 720p. So, yeah, the panel, it's really good. And again, under £300, which I'm going to keep saying. I think that's, great feature to have. So we're going to have a quick go on PUBG New State. I've hardly played this. I've only just tested it a little bit on this phone, so I'll probably be shocking guys. But yeah, so far this game, it might be the lower spec hardware on this phone, but it doesn't look any much better than the old PUBG. But yeah, maybe I'll play it on my Nord 2 soon and see if it's any better. I think I'm aiming for the water there. Jump through a window. Got the settings on medium graphics, guys. So yeah, you can't. Ooh. Got him with my little pea shooter. Aha, kill. How's he got all that gear so quick? That's quite funny, right? I've been watching Peaky Blinders today, and Arthur, if you watch Peaky Blinders, he's using one of these guns. Looks like an old Thompson. Ooh, nice headshot. Is he dead? No. I shot him in the face with a Gatling gun. Surely he would have died, but never mind. So we'll end it there on a kill. So yeah, I killed 3 of them. That'll do me. So yeah, gets my stamp of approval. The gaming. Here's some shots during the day, and you'll see some videos, and also some nighttime shots. I'll shut up for ones, and I'll let you watch the stage. But I think the camera's really good for that. So this is a 4K 30 video test on the Moto Edge 20 Lite. So this is going to be your highest quality, isn't it? Most pixels, 4K. So this is a full HD 60 test on the Moto Edge 20 Lite. Again, we'll see how this compares to 4K. I suspect there's probably no stabilization at 4K 30, but you will have it 1080p 60. So this is a test on the front facing camera at 1080p 30, and it's looking good on the screen, but we'll have to see what it's like when we edit this. So we've got dual capture video and photo, so yeah, love a bit of dual capture. I've got scripts mostly on my OnePlus Nord 2 with this mode, but yeah, it's a nice feature to have on any phone if you vlog, or you want to show the audience what you're seeing whilst filming your lovely self like me. Okay, so here's some night mode shots, and I'm really impressed. Like, it was really dark outside, but it has brightened it up and it does really look like daylight. Okay, so I've got this phone for another week or so, and I am really impressed. You know, it's a nice phone to have by your side or in your pocket, and it's big but not unwieldy. You know, it's not too bad because it's nice and light. It's not, you know, too cumbersome when you're navigating around the screen. I'm very impressed. I think the only downsides with this phone, you've got the cheaper like Poco phones, so like the Poco X3 Pro that's got a better chipset, as has the Poco F3, which again are in the same price point. But one thing that's in this phone's favour, it runs like a Pixel, like a lot of Motorola's do. Moto phones are very stock Android, and if you're used to Pixels or you want a stock experience, this is definitely going to give you that. And with the Xiaomi and Poco phones, I've never used them, but I believe they do have quite a lot of glitches and, you know, not as buttery smooth as this. So I think the camera, the smoothness of the UI, the beautiful screen, you know, they're real big plus points for this phone. So it's definitely a competitor for those. So although you're not getting, you know, the massive chipsets and people get hung up on that, like, you know, Snapdragon 870s, etc., this is still a capable phone. You know, it's for most people, even me, I can video edit on this if I need to, and it wouldn't let me down. You know, I video edit on this Samsung A12, which is, you know, a lot more inferior to this. All right, guys. So like I say, I've got this for another week or so. Let me know what you think in the comments, as always. Ask me any questions. If there's any tests you'd like me to do, I'm here to help you. But yeah, Tech Anorak out. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.